Dolphins' perfect solution to their biggest problem could land right in their lap, are you as terrified as I am about what the Miami Dolphins are doing at the tight end position right now? Because honestly, watching this unfold feels like watching a slow-motion train wreck that could derail our entire season before it even begins. Let's be brutally honest here. The tight end situation in Miami isn't just concerning, it's downright scary. We're talking about a position that's become a gaping hole in what should be an explosive offensive attack. And with Mike McDaniel's job security hanging in the balance after last season's disappointing finish, he absolutely cannot afford to walk into this season with question marks at such a crucial position. But here's where things get interesting and potentially very exciting for Dolphins fans. Sometimes in the NFL, timing is everything, and we might be about to catch the break we desperately need. The perfect storm brewing in Los Angeles. Brent Sobleski from Bleacher Report recently dropped a bombshell that should have every Dolphins fan paying attention. He listed the biggest names across the NFL who could still find themselves on a chopping block, and sitting right there on that list was Los Angeles Rams tight end Tyler Higbee. Now, if you're not familiar with Higbee's resume, let me paint you a picture of exactly why this could be the answer to our prayers. Tyler Higbee isn't just some journeyman tight end looking for his next paycheck. This guy has been the backbone of the Rams tight end room for nearly a decade. Think about that for a second. In a league where careers are measured in years, not decades, Higbee has been a consistent, reliable producer for Los Angeles since they drafted him back in 2016. Here's a stat that should make your eyes light up. Higbee has scored at least one touchdown for the Rams in each of the last 9 seasons. 9 consecutive seasons of finding the end zone. That's not luck. That's not a fluke. That's pure, consistent production at the professional level. And at 32 years old, he's still got plenty left in the tank to be that fundamental piece we're missing. Why the Rams might let him walk now? You might be wondering why in the world the Rams would even consider cutting loose a player who's been so productive for them. Well, that's where the business side of football gets interesting and potentially very beneficial for us. The Rams made some significant moves this offseason that suggest they're ready to head in a different direction at tight end. They used a second-round draft pick on Terrence Ferguson, which tells you everything you need to know about their long-term plans. When you invest that kind of draft capital in a position, you're clearly looking to make a change. Ferguson has been turning heads in training camp, showing the kind of athleticism and potential that could make him the starter sooner rather than later. If he continues to impress, the Rams might feel comfortable moving forward with him as their primary tight end option. But that's not all. Los Angeles also brought in Colby Parkinson during the last offseason, adding even more depth to their tight end room. Parkinson has been a capable backup for years and could easily slide into that secondary role if Higbee gets released. As Sobleski puts it perfectly, Higbee may provide insurance for the coaching staff, but the Rams have significant talent at the tight end position to move forward without him on the roster. That's music to our ears as Dolphins fans, because their surplus could become our solution. Miami's desperate need. Let's take a hard look at what we're working with right now in Miami, because it's not pretty. After trading away Jonnu Smith to the Pittsburgh Steelers, a move that still stings when you think about his production last season, the Dolphins brought in Darren Waller to fill that void. Now, don't get me wrong, Darren Waller was an absolute monster at his peak. 5 years ago, he would have been the perfect solution to our tight end problems. But we're not living 5 years ago, and Waller isn't the same player he once was. At 32 years old, and having been away from football for 2 full seasons, there are serious questions about whether he can still perform at the level we need. It's hard to put all our eggs in the Waller basket when he's such an unknown quantity at this point. Sure, he's got the talent and the track record, but Russ is real in this league, and 2 years away from the game is an eternity in NFL terms. The rest of our tight end room doesn't exactly inspire confidence either. We've got Pharaoh Brown, who's a solid contributor but more of a complimentary piece than a featured player. Beyond that, we're looking at question marks and developmental prospects. Why Higbee is the perfect fit if Tyler Higbee becomes available. He would immediately walk into our lineup as a starting tight end. There's no question about it, no competition needed. He would be our guy from day one. Now, would he be a complete replacement for what Jonnu Smith brought to our offense last season? Probably not. Smith had some unique athletic gifts that made him special in McDaniel's system. But here's the thing. Higbee represents a massive upgrade over what we're currently working with, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. Higbee brings something that's absolutely crucial for a team trying to make a playoff push: reliability. He's not going to wow you with blazing speed or acrobatic catches, but he's going to be exactly where he needs to be when he needs to be there. In McDaniel's offense, that kind of dependability could be the difference between converting on third down and punting the ball away. Think about it from a quarterback's perspective. Tua Tagovailoa needs to know that when he looks toward his tight end, that guy is going to be in the right spot running the right route. With Higbee, you get that guarantee. You get nearly a decade of NFL experience. You get a guy who's played in big games and performed in clutch moments. The perfect timing, the timing of this potential opportunity couldn't be better for Miami. We're at a point in the offseason where quality veterans like Higbee don't usually become available. Most teams have already set their rosters and made their plans. But if the Rams do decide to move on from Higbee, we need to be the first team on the phone. This is the kind of move that could quietly transform our offense without making headlines. While other teams are chasing big-name free agents or trading away draft picks, we could solve our tight end problem with a proven veteran who's ready to contribute immediately. For Mike McDaniel, bringing in Higbee would eliminate one of the biggest question marks heading into the season. Instead of hoping that Waller can turn back the clock or that Brown can step up into a bigger role, he'd have a legitimate starter who knows how to get open and make plays when it matters. The Dolphins absolutely cannot afford to hesitate if this opportunity presents itself. We've seen too many times in the past where Miami has let quality players slip through their fingers because they were slow to act or trying to get cute with negotiations. This is not the time for that approach. If Tyler Higbee hits the market, Chris Greer needs to be ready to make his move immediately. This could be the perfect solution to our biggest problem. And solutions like this don't come around very often in the NFL. What do you think, Dolphins fans? Are you as excited as I am about the possibility of landing Higbee? Drop a comment below and let me know if you think this will be the missing piece our offense needs. And don't forget to smash that like button if you want to see more breaking news and analysis like this.